Hi, welcome back to Talk Nasty to Me podcast. This is your host, Nikki Nasty. Who else? And I'm back, ladies. So I did take a hiatus last week. If you noticed, if you didn't notice, fake fan. No, but I did take a little week-long break from the pod. Like I could have recorded it, I guess, any other time in the week and then not uploaded it on Monday, but I was like, no. I'm learning how to be kinder to myself. Why do I always jump into these podcasts so quick? Like I just get right to the point, but maybe that's a good thing. I just have a lot on my mind. No, I just am trying to learn how to take better care of myself and better breaks when I need breaks. And you know what? Sometimes not even announcing it. Like I didn't announce it this time because I didn't think that anyone would notice or really care. I was mistaken because I got a lot of messages that were like, where the heck is the podcast this week? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I didn't say anything. So next time, if there is a next time, I will say something. I just had to take a little bit of a break because, as some of you guys may know, I've kind of talked about it on the podcast, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. I'm just going through some like family stuff right now. And it's just important that I'm with my family and I'm taking care of them and that I'm being a good ass family member and not completely being consumed by work and the internet and online classes. And so sometimes it's just good to just take a step back and like acknowledge if you're not good, if you're not okay, it's totally okay to take a break. I used to be very weird about that kind of stuff and be like, no, I still need to do my videos and still need to do my whatever else. At the time, like schoolwork, like when I was just doing college and stuff and just doing high school, but like now I'm just kind of like, you know what? No, sometimes it is really important that you like care for yourself and that you take the time that you need, because if you're not going to be performing at your best and if you're going to be, sacrificing your own mental health, then like it's really not worth it. You know what I mean? So I'm being kinder to myself, and I guess like I don't even really want to apologize anymore at this point. I don't want to be like, sorry I wasn't active, because it's kind of like, no, it was necessary. Like it's for the better of my health, my family, etc., etc., etc. So I hope that you guys are doing great. I hope that all of you are staying healthy and safe, especially if you're protesting, still with COVID going around. I hope that you are still healthy and safe. But I hope that this week's podcast can be a little bit of a 45-minute escape because I need it. Oh my God. Mondays are the days that most of the good podcasts that I listen to come out. Like majority of my favorite podcasts come out on Mondays, and then I binge them all like on Monday. And then I don't really have anything else to listen to for like the remainder of the week. That's like another thing that I have to do. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? I am going to apologize for this. I'm sorry I haven't been on top of it with the YouTube channel for posting these videos. I'm still like a podcast behind. There's no other excuse other than it's scary editing like an hour's worth of content and then cutting it down to still be like an hour, because it's just so much fucking content, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so much. I'm just not used to this. And it just keeps slipping my mind, and I'm just like not caught up with it. But something that I did do this entire week in my little hiatus, I'm reorganizing myself. So I reorganized my room. Like I moved my room around slightly. I might be doing a room tour on my YouTube channel. Maybe. I don't really know if that's like my whole spiel, but like I feel like I can make it fun still. Like I don't know. Because like my room at home is probably my favorite room I've ever had, especially right now, because I've taken such good care of it. Like I have beautiful plants everywhere, and I just painted it over spring break because like I don't know why I painted it over spring break. I just felt like I had to, and then it all made sense because I moved home like literally 2 weeks later. Not even like, I think like 6 days later I moved home, and maybe even 4 days. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. But I really have made this room my own, and I used to hate my room so much because it just never was what I wanted it to be. And I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be so expensive to make it nice, and it did not cost a lot of money to make it what I wanted it to be. If anything, like I've already owned all the things. It's just that I never put all the pieces really together. So I absolutely love my room. So I would potentially make a room tour, but I have been reorganizing my desk and like actually working at my desk. Like I strictly only work from my desk now. I haven't worked from my bed in months, but I got this fancy new calendar and everything, and I'm just like really excited to be a more organized person, because before it was just kind of like I don't really have structure when it comes to my like YouTubing schedule. Like I do to a certain extent, but I would work. I hate saying work because oh my God, every YouTuber says this. I hate saying work because it's not work. It's so much fun to me. It's more like a hobby, but it is work. It's my job. So it is work, I guess. So when I say work, that's what I'm referring to. I would just work like all 7 days of the week. Like I would edit or do something YouTube related all 7 days out of the week, or like even podcast now related. And like that's not good. So I am trying to make it very strict that I'm only working now Monday through Friday, and that's it. Setting like strict time schedules for myself. So this is the first week where I'm fully implementing it. Let's see how it goes. I'm really excited about it because I just want to be a happier person and be more productive with my time and feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile, because for the last, like, I really have kind of like let go of myself during quarantine. I'm not happy with the way that I am, like, physically, in the sense that, like, guys, I used to be a weightlifter. You know what I mean? Like, used to literally, I had a fitness page. I posted pictures of my butt on there. That's another story. Quick story. Okay, I had this fitness page on my, like, I was just like really, really, really into fitness, and I like found this passion for weightlifting, and my trainer at the time, who was also a young girl, convinced me to make a fitness page for my, like, an Instagram fitness page. And she was like, look, if you're looking to make some extra cash, you could get like brand deals along the line, like something good could come out of it. Just post pictures, it'll be fun. And so I like was in the whole fitness community, which, like, looking back at it, I don't fit in at all. Those are not my people. It's not my tribe. And I posted a picture of my butt. I was wearing underwear, but I posted a picture of my butt, and I was just like really, really proud of myself, because I gained so much weight that I needed to gain because I was very unhealthy from stress and not eating. And I like totally transformed my body, and I was so proud of myself. And then it was during like the season for like the musical at my high school. And I remember we had like rehearsals that night, and I was driving one of my friends home, and he was like, "Hey, I'm just letting you know, but like this group of boys at the musical rehearsal, they were all like staring at the picture of like your butt, and they screenshot it and whatever." And so anyway, that's what they were huddled up and talking about. And I was like, cool, I hate my life. So that page did not live long after that. But anyway, that was my short little spiel about that. But where was I going with this? I just let myself go. I have not been feeling that good about myself, like physically. So I'm trying to get back into that fitness mindset and everything. Eating better. But this is all for myself. It's not even, I've completely let go of the idea of caring so much about the way that I look. And it's just more so about the way that I feel. And I feel like that's overall what's most important to me. And then also just things with like work and school life. And if I'm going to hop into my last semester of college, like I just want to be the best version of myself. And I'm just constantly working at that. And the last 3 months have kind of been a blur, but it's okay. I feel like from this point moving forward, it's going to be really good. And I think tonight's like a lunar eclipse or something, and apparently the Mayan calendar, supposedly a new era is starting tomorrow, I guess. I don't know, a lot of changes coming soon. I'm excited for it. To be honest, I'm just excited. A lot of new things. Happy Father's Day. Who cares? If you have a dad, that's great. Please tell him I said Happy Father's Day from me to him. Ask him if he'd like to adopt me. But other than that, it's just kind of like, it's my world and I'm living in it, and I just need to do better for myself, strictly for myself. So with that being said, I'm going to do the healthiest thing for myself and read assumptions about me. Ironic, right? Right. So I made a video many, many, many moons ago, like when I first started my channel. And I remember I made a video called Why I Won't Read Assumptions About Me. And it was my like little petty way of making a video that was relevant to the topic. But I didn't have any followers or any subscribers that would give a shit. So I couldn't get assumptions about me. Like there was nobody subscribed to me. Like nobody would give me assumptions. So I was like, this is why I will never read assumptions about me. It's not good for you. You know what? I have such thicker skin nowadays. Truly, like I feel like I just kind of like brush that kind of stuff off. And I thought it'd be really, really interesting to do an assumptions video, but not on video, not for my YouTube channel, but just strictly for my podcast. So that's what we're doing today. I asked you guys all last week about what are some assumptions that you have about me as a person. And a lot of you were like, I thought you would never do this. Well, guess what? Times change, people change. I'm just kidding. It's really not that deep. I just thought that this would be a fun little thing to do because I don't know if this is the case, but perhaps some of you may follow me just on the podcast, but not on my other social media. If that is the case, let me know somehow. I would love to know if you have somehow just found me through my podcast and you don't watch my YouTube channel, you don't know me from any other social media, and you just listen to the pod. That's really cool. And I think that would be amazing. But maybe you don't know me that well. So I thought that maybe we could get to know each other a little bit well. Also, maybe you're like a newer subscriber and you just kind of want to hear me talk about myself. It's like a Q&A without it directly being a Q&A. There's a hair in my face and I'm getting like genuinely angry. Oh my God. I'm also sitting in the most bougiest chair ever. I got a brand new desk chair and this is a part of the whole process of becoming the best me. I'm in love with it. I'm so in love with it. Great lumbar support. I don't exactly know what that means, but I think it's amazing. And I spent a lot of time in Staples trying to make this decision, and I was sweating really, really badly, and I was getting stressed out because obviously we're in a pandemic, and I was trying to buy a desk chair. Regardless, my point is that I'm very, very happy with my choice in desk chairs. So I'm very excited for this pod. So let's get started with the assumptions about me, shall we? I'm just going to pull them up on my phone and let's get to reading, shall we? Okay. So the first assumption about me that I will be answering. You have a great relationship with your mama. I got this a lot, like a lot, which is funny because I don't really like post about her very much or like talk about her. If you're watching the live version of this, you'll probably see me combing my bangs. I'm very, very annoyed with my hair as of recent. I don't really know what I want to do with my hair moving forward. That's a whole other conversation. I literally don't know what to do with my hair, but my bangs just frequently get greasy since they're right next to my forehead, so I have to comb them so that they don't look as stupid. Yes, I do actually have a great relationship with my mom. It was just my mom and I for a very, very long time because my dad left. So it was literally just my mom and I, and we got close during that, but obviously we like fought, like not like sisters, I would say, like definitely like mom and daughter, but we're both very, very similar. She's a Leo, I'm a Virgo, if you care about horoscopes, but we're just very different people, but we're both really stubborn, and I get it from her. But especially during quarantine and her being home, yeah, we have gotten extremely close with one another, and so I love her. So a lot about my mom being my best friend. You're gonna drop out of college. That'd be really stupid if I did that because I quite literally have one semester left of college. So no, I do not plan on dropping out of college. However, I am very nervous because I don't know what's going on with Temple right now. Temple is the school I go to, if you don't know that. I don't really know what's going on because they're saying that classes, some of them may be online, but some of them may not be. If they're gonna be online, like if all of my classes are gonna be online, I would rather just stay here. I would rather not move back to school because if I'm being completely honest, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable visiting home because I would want to keep my family safe. I'm going to be around thousands of people and you know what I mean? Like I don't want to risk getting my parents sick. So I'm like really nervous about what's going to happen with that. I have no idea and I don't know when I'm going to get an update. So no, I'm not dropping out, but I quite literally don't know what my living situation is this fall, which sucks because it seems like I have the only time where I have been comfortable with my living situation, like 100% comfortable, is my sophomore year when I was an RA and I lived alone. And that was the only time. And I lived in the worst building on campus and I loved it so much. So, yeah. Next question or next assumption is you're more of a dog person. Okay, this might be a boring thing, but I've been extremely obsessed with cats as of recent. My cat and I have gotten very close over quarantine. His name is Missy. Yes, he's a he. I got him during when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I think like 4. He's going to be 16 or 17 now. He's very, very old. And I wanted a girl cat really, really badly, and my mom didn't have the heart to tell me that he was a boy. So we named him Missy. Pretty cute. But no, I would love to get a cat really badly. I was actually looking to adopt a certain cat from an adoption center near me during quarantine, but a lot of things came up and I didn't have the opportunity like to even meet her, and I didn't want the experience for like my current cat Missy to be bad because he is so old and he's been alone. Like he there's hasn't been another cat living in our house. So I didn't want to stress him out, and I also didn't want to stress out my family with everything going on. So I was just like, all right, I'll hold off on the cat. I won't get Blossom. That was her name. She was precious. And someone adopted her. My heart broke, but her sister, as of recent, is still up for adoption. I really, really would like her, but I just don't see that happening. But I really, really would like to get a cat if I move out within like the next year or whatever happens in my life. So yes. You have a particular routine and you stick to it. See, I would like to say that's true, but I have a hard time holding myself like accountable to things. Like I have a hard time, like when I do start a routine, like I really do stick to it, but it's very easy for me to fall off once and to fall off for a long time. I feel like a lot of people are like that, but it sucks. Like that's the thing, like even like with YouTube, for example, I'll just use that as an example. I'll be going so strong with my uploading schedule for like 2 months or so, and I'm consistently uploading twice a week. And then if I fall off once, oh my God, it's so easy to just like fall off continuously after that. And sucks because YouTube is so like algorithm based and everything. So like if you piss off the algorithm, or not even piss off, but if you're not in favor of the algorithm, they're just not going to really care about you. So it's just kind of like upsetting, but like I'm not mad about it. But yeah, I guess I would say like I do like to stick to a routine. That is the Virgo in me. Another assumption, I do watch David Dobrik. I do really like David Dobrik. Another assumption is that you are not the same on camera than you are in real life. Love you, by the way. Love you too. I asked a couple of my friends this, if they think that I'm similar on camera than I am in real life. And all of them said that I am pretty much the same in person as I am on camera. The only difference is that I talk more in my videos because it's obviously a video, and that I just like show a different side of my personality. Like it's not a character obviously that I'm putting on for my channel, but like I'm not going to be that like active and that like awake and that like rambunctious and like super peppy in real life all the time. So in that like 15-minute video clip, like that's me just being very energetic. Whereas in real life, I'm not so much like that. But yeah, I would say that I'm very, even from my perspective, I think I'm very, very similar. It's very tiring to put on a front to be someone you're not, especially if I'm doing it 3 times a week, 2 times on video and 1 time in a podcast. I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not. That is so exhausting. So, no. Someone said that you're the mature one in the friend group. Absolutely. I get told that I'm the mom of the friend group constantly, all the time. So, yeah. Someone said that you put a pressure on yourself to be a positive role model on YouTube. I don't think I put pressure on myself for that, because if I'm being completely honest, well, first of all, majority of my audience is between, I think, 18 and 24. I think that's where majority of my audience lies. And to be honest, I don't really aim to be like an amazing role model. I think I just aim to be me. That's so cliche, but I would just hope that I'm not influencing something bad on someone. Like, I will never try and influence something negative when it comes to like an eating habit. I don't know if that's a bad example, but what I'm trying to say is that I will never intentionally try and advertise something bad, like lifestyle wise at all. So I don't think I try to be like exceptionally a positive role model, but I definitely don't try to be a negative one. I don't know if that answered that at all, but I don't feel a lot of pressure, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of being me, and that's really that. Someone else said, you're hella rich, but you'll admit it because then no one would say you're relatable anymore. I think this person meant that I'll never admit it because then no one would say I'm relatable anymore. Oopsie. Sorry, that was my alarm saying that I only have 5 minutes left on social media. That's a lie. I've ignored that alarm for like the past year. No, I'm not rich. And neither is my family, and we never have been, and that's okay. No, I don't care about being relatable or not anymore. I'm just gonna be me, and if someone relates to that, cool, and if not, then whatever. But no, my family and I are not rich. Yeah, there's nothing really else to say about that. I come from working class family. I come from a family of immigrants who had to come their way and become self-employed in America, and shit's hard. It's really, really tough. And no, I am not rich, and neither is my family. So, someone else assumed you are more introverted than extroverted. I don't really know, to be honest, because I definitely do possess a lot of introverted characteristics, but then again, I would not actually call myself an introvert, so I think I'm an ambivert, whatever, the one that's in the middle. But like, for example, in quarantine, I feel like mentally, like me being by myself, like socially, I'm thriving. Like by being alone, I am socially thriving, which sounds pretty bad, but I get very, very exhausted very easily by hanging around groups of people or with a lot of people. That just tires me out so badly. And I wish it wasn't like that, because I feel like I'm constantly pushing people away from hanging out. I'm usually the ones that's like turning down plans. So maybe I am more of an introvert than an extrovert. Someone else said that you've had a lot of boyfriends, but you're afraid of marriage. No, I have not had a lot of boyfriends. I have only had 2 serious boyfriends, and I'm currently in one of those relationships. And I had like 1 boyfriend who I sometimes talk about on my channel because it's just like funny. It was like a week and a half. I told him I was allergic to gluten and that I couldn't kiss him, and there's really nothing else to the relationship other than that. So no, I'm not even afraid of marriage. Like, I want to marry the boy that I'm dating now. That would be sick. But I'm not afraid of marriage. I'm afraid of children. Children scare the shit out of me, but that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, or whatever the saying is. Someone else said you wouldn't like living in LA. I kind of agree with this because I don't see myself as a West Coast person. I thought growing up, I always wanted to live in LA, not because of YouTubers, not because of celebrities, but the way that Drake and Josh depicted it in their movie. You know the one. I think they only have one movie. That movie made me want to move to LA. Okay. But in terms of like other kind of stuff, I don't really have any interest in moving to LA, quite honestly. I want to visit. I want to meet my managers in person for the first time. I would like to do all the touristy things. I'd like to go to the beach and I'd like to eat all the vegan food there. And then I would like to go home. I see myself more as a New York person, just maybe because I grew up there. I have family who lives in New York and friends. So I've been to New York plenty of times, but I think I've just learned over the years that I just don't think. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst with these phone alarms. My bad. But yeah, I don't think that I would like living in LA at all. So I do not foresee that happening in my future, but who knows? Just kidding. Someone else said you kind of miss eating meat. I do not, believe it or not. I don't miss eating meat. I have not eaten meat in 4 years, I think now. I've been a vegan for 4 years and yeah, no, I don't miss it at all. If I ever were to crave something, like for example, when I worked at Chipotle, the only thing that like smelled good to me, I guess you could say, like in terms of like meat, was the steak. That was the only thing that I was like, that smells palatable. But it's not something that I would want. And there's so many different like dupes and options, even if they're not like the best for you or healthiest, like, oh my God. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like I had Chipotle lime chicken fingers, chicken whatever. They're vegan, but they were amazing. And like people are like, that's not good for you. It's like I'm eating this once in a while. I don't want to justify what I'm eating. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to justify what you're eating. But nope. I do not miss eating meat. Somebody else said you are not actually as happy in your long distance relationship as you make it seem. No, I am very happy. I don't know how else to prove that without being like, no, I am happy. I swear to God, I'm happy. No, I love being in the relationship that I am. I appreciate that it's long distance because it is what it is. So I'm going to appreciate it and embrace it and find the good in it. But no, I am happy. Just saw him today. Sick. Someone else said that you eat really healthy. Define really healthy. You know what I mean? Like, what really is eating really healthy? I definitely don't eat the best. I definitely could be putting way better food into my body sometimes. Like, sometimes I will eat and I'll feel like shit after. I'm like, damn, I could have made a healthier choice to make myself feel better after. But I feel like overall, I just kind of eat what I feel like in the moment. I eat like a normal human being who makes mistakes. I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that I eat healthy a lot of the time, like lots of fruits and veggies, but sometimes I will eat things that are not per se unhealthy, but just don't make me feel that great. So working on that, working on being healthier in that sense. Someone said you feel like you overshare, but people actually don't know a lot about you. That's very true. I do sometimes like sit back and I'm like, oh, I wish that more of my life was private, or I wish that I didn't say this thing on the internet. But in reality, I don't I don't share that much information about myself, like at all. I don't share my romantic relationships on the internet. I don't share my personal family relationships on the internet. Like pretty much everything is kept pretty private. Like most of my problems and issues are kept private. I like it that way. I like keeping it that way. But I definitely do feel like sometimes like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I should never have shared this about my life. But then I actually sit back and I'm like, no, I'm kind of grateful for everything that I have done. I don't know. I feel like it makes me relate to a lot of people who watch or listen to me. I don't want to be like, I'm relatable, but it's just more comforting in a sense, I guess you could say. Someone said you secretly envy all natural blondes, but also love your natural color. I don't envy natural blondes, okay? Like, they're great in their own way, but I don't envy them. I love my brown hair. I love the color of my natural brown hair. And I decided to go all blonde because I just want to experience it. And I thought that it would be fun, and it was super fun. But now that she's growing out, and now that I don't have access to a salon, and now that it's just, I'm not really happy with it. Mama's not happy, and mama wants to go back to brunette. I always worry about like when I do, like when I went super blonde, I feel like I might have potentially whitewashed myself even more because I am half Middle Eastern, and I feel like sometimes the only features that I can hold on to that are like the Middle Eastern side of me are my nose to a certain extent, my eyebrows, and my dark hair. That's really like the only characteristics that I feel like I really kept from my Middle Eastern side. And so when I went super blonde, I feel like I took that part away from myself and just made me feel less confident about myself for a little bit. I love the color blonde that it was. I mean, it kind of is still. And Marianne, my hairdresser, did an amazing job, and I love her dearly, but I think I'm done with the blonde. I think I'm ready to go back to my dark roots and just, like quite literally as well. Like I would like for my roots to be dark. And yeah, I'm excited to go back to brunette, but I do not envy anybody. Someone said you're really friendly but have a hard time socializing with people. Yeah, I feel like that's true. I feel like I do have a hard time actually feeling like yeah, I mean that's the truth. I do feel a lot of the times like I have problems with making new friends or talking with people in public places. And it's weird because I myself am like comfortable around myself and comfortable with like my close friends, but then like when it comes to strangers or new people, and it should be exciting and it should be fun, and I just freeze up, and I'm really 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 bad at it. So I'm trying to work on that. I don't really know how though. And you think that in college, like, oh, you meet so many new people, but I would get really uncomfortable even like as an RA when I would have to meet like new people, especially when they were my own age. I'm like get super uncomfortable. I saw like a TikTok today. It's like, oh my God, around shy people, I'm like super duper extroverted. And then around like super outgoing people, I am very, very quiet and introverted. So I would get like that even as an RA, like just because I had the title, it didn't make me more confident. So I feel like I struggle with just socializing in general, which is something I never really had an issue with. And considering I worked in food service jobs growing up, I was like shocked once I started to like develop being like really uncomfortable talking to people. I was like, what's going on with me? But you know what? Maybe that's a part of like the last stage of puberty. It's just uncomfortableness with others. Someone said, I assume that you are very chill and not easily angered. That is extremely true. I don't get very angry. Well, it depends on the thing truly, because when it comes to like minuscule stuff, like for example, like if I'm driving, I don't have road rage. You will probably never ever catch me having road rage ever. I don't get upset about that kind of stuff. Like someone cut me off. Okay, it was a mistake. Maybe they were having a bad day. Whatever. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I never get upset. If somebody at the grocery store does something like weird or like just like stuff like that, I don't get offended. I don't get angry by stuff like that. Especially if it's like food service workers or just employees in general. I don't get upset when it's people being rude to me personally or like attacking my beliefs or who I am as a person or somebody else that I may know. Yeah, I do tend to get angry, but I wouldn't say I'm like easily angered, or I wouldn't say that I'm just like hot-headed or anything. I think for the most part I am very chill and very relaxed. It's just more so like with personal issues. Like when I get angry, I get very, very angry because I'm like, how dare you challenge me as a person? How dare you challenge my friends as a person? That kind of shit. Someone wrote, you are very uncomfortable talking about sex. I mean, I guess to a certain extent. I don't really talk about it on my channel, maybe as like some other YouTubers might. And it's not because I'm like sex 1111 Make-A-Wish. It's not because I'm like not sex positive or anything. I believe I'm very sex positive and I am very educated. Fun fact, I used to actually want to be like a sex ed teacher. I used to want to go around to like high schools and middle schools giving the talk to kids. Like I thought that was going to be like my dream job. Maybe it still is. Who knows? When it comes to like my channel, I guess because most of the stuff that I talk about is just like so personal and like me related and stuff, I just don't feel the need to talk about sex or sexual topics because I just feel like, I don't know, it's just one of those topics that's like personal and private to me. Like I'll make jokes about it all day. I'll make stupid that's what she said jokes, but for the most part, I guess I am kind of uncomfortable because like if people were to come up to me like in person, like college is weird. Like everyone just like will be okay. See, I don't mean to say weird, but I mean like some people are so forced and like asking questions like without even really knowing you very well. And like I experienced that like as a freshman, like people ask me like a bunch of questions and I'm like, well, I just met you. Like I don't know if I'm like cool talking to you about this. So, yeah, I guess you could say I'm like not that comfortable talking about it, but I would still like to become a sex ed teacher. Would I like to talk about it on my channel? No. Would I like to talk about it with middle schoolers? Yes. I know that sounds very weird, but I would love to educate more than talk about it, I guess. Someone said, you think you're better than others. This is funny because when I was in high school, there was this girl and she was so rude to me, so mean. And she would just like backstab me, talk about me behind my back and all this other stuff. And I remember she said to like one of my closest friends and said, she just thinks that she's so much better than everyone else. And I just kind of like cracked and I was just like, really? Do you really think that I think that I'm better than everyone else? Or do you think I'm better than everyone else? Because there is a difference. Do you think that I think that I'm better than everyone else? Or do you think I'm better than everyone else? Answer that. And so I never said that to her face, but she was just a bully and like a mean girl. And I hate to say it, but a lot of it was honestly jealousy. I think jealousy with the fact that I was not a mean person. I didn't build up all my friendships and reputations with lies. It's so stupid that I'm even thinking about it. But my point being is that I don't think that I'm better than anyone else at all. And if my confidence or my happiness with myself exudes that I may be better than anyone else, I think it's just more of a thing that you need to self-reflect a little bit more on. You know what I mean? Like if you're ever looking at someone and thinking that person is too confident, it's just more of a sign of your own insecurities than that person, basically. The very last thing that I am going to leave off on is that someone said that you have your life all together. And I will say this is that nobody has their life together whatsoever. Not a single person in this world. Not even the Queen of England has her life together, truly. And if they say they do, they're lying. No one is ever going to feel 100% truly fulfilled in themselves or feeling like they could be doing more. No one actually knows all the answers to life or to their own life or others' lives. I think it's more about the journey itself. That sounds so fucking cheesy, but hear me out. So I remember listening to Mac DeMarco's Hot Ones episode, and in the end, he talks about basically how he learned that pursuing his dreams and his goals of becoming a musician, it was never about the goal itself. That's not what's most fulfilling about reaching your goals. It's never about reaching the goal itself. It's more so the journey to get there. So, all the days that he was spending in his van with his girlfriend and driving from concert to concert, those are the things that are truly worth it and are the most important parts of life. All the moments that he spent with like his band, like that's what was truly most important to life. It was never the moment that he got there. Because once you get there, it's like kind of over, you kind of reach your goal and that's it. It's more about the journey to get there. So I kind of try and treat my entire life like that. Like, my entire life is fun. My entire life, everything I'm doing in it is cool. And who cares about what like my goal is? Because once that goal passes, I'll have another one. And it's just like a big game for me, like the game of life. And so, no, nobody truly has their life figured out. It's just about enjoying it truly. I think that's really a basic answer, but no, nobody has their life figured out. And if somebody tells you that they do, then just punch them. Don't actually, because I don't want to be encouraging people to do that, but don't believe them, because bullshitters. That's all I gotta say. That is the end of all the assumptions that I'm going to be answering today. My throat hurts from answering them all. Why? I don't know. Good question. But thank you so much for everyone who sent in their little assumption. I almost said question. I really appreciate it. And I am going to still be reading a rating and a review today. So if you didn't know, every single week I'll be reading a rating and review that you leave on the Apple Podcasts app. So make sure to leave one and maybe I'll read yours next week. But this person is by Jimmy the Protester. And they said, I look forward to Nicole's podcast every week. Love her. She is so relatable and fun. She always has the best stories and advice to give, and every episode is unique. It's like sitting down with a big sister or an old friend. Love this podcast and could not recommend it enough. Thank you, Jimmy. That's super duper sweet. It actually made my night because I was feeling like insecure about the podcast for a second. And then I read that and I was like, oh, this is why I do it, because this is so fun for me. So I always feel better after recording these podcasts. And I'm like sweating in my room right now and staring at my empty calendar that I have on the wall that I did not fill out yet. But it's going to be fine. It's all going to be good. And my throat hurts so bad, but it'll be all good. I'm not ill. I'm just tired of talking, okay? I can't be this soothing of a voice and my voice not be sore from it. But if you guys have any suggestions for future podcast ideas, I'm always taking suggestions. Tweet me or DM me on Instagram. It's just at Nicole Raffie, spelled NicoleRafiee. A lot of people think that my last name is spelled Raffie. I'm offended. It's wrong, but I can understand why. That totally makes much more sense, and it probably should be spelled that way. So you're right. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening, and I hope that you had fun listening to these assumptions, because maybe now you know more about me, or maybe you learned literally nothing about me, or maybe we're just staying neutral here, or maybe you don't like me more. Like maybe you like me less now that the podcast is over. Regardless, thanks for being here. It's so nice of you. I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to have a nice ass week. And I hope that you guys do too, because you deserve it. And, maybe this eclipse or whatever we're going through, or new era of a calendar, maybe it'll be really good for us. I'm excited. So thanks for listening. Kick ass and get yourself a calendar. I'm happy I did. And maybe we could be calendar friends. I know it's literally June and I just got a calendar. It's the middle of the year, but here we are. Okay. Bye, guys.